Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to our night playthrough in EU4 with me, your host, Luckymarine. And this episode we're taking Constantinople back. We can't risk it falling into the grimy hands of the auto-dubs. But we'll wait for these rebels to pop. The Ottomans are still having a few issues. At sea, anyway, they're having issues. Mamluks, have you not got access to the Ottomans? You should have. Well, I don't know. The Mamluks should be here fighting through and relieving sieges here. Do you not give access to the Mamluks? Does no one give access? I don't know. Did you not ask for access through so you could go fight him? Maybe not. Come Marine separatists. Just fire already. I'll repay that for now. So that's 7. This will be the 8th cog. So I'll want 8 troops. How many separatists is it going to be? 8,000. Well, we might as well get 8,000. When it pops to 90%. When it pops to 90, we'll sit on it because it's mountainous, or highlands even. I'm not losing. Oh, I'm not losing stability. Of course, we're losing stability. Why not? We'll go for missionary strength anyway. Well, it means when we declare on OCB, we lose less stability, I suppose. Also means that these rebels might pop just that little bit quicker at low stability. Come on, pop, you bastards. We've already got what is deemed as our good guy in charge. Come on, rebels. I've got other things to do. Fine. Come on. The Ottomans are going to end up turning their attention to Constantinople. We can't allow it to happen. That will be start again. What's the chance? What is the chance of tick after tick after tick when it says there's going to be a revolt in 0.7 years? What's the chance of it never happening? Quite high. All this time, Byzantium is building up their forces. Come on. 90%. 9% my arse. There should be a button. There should be a button in the handling of rebels page. That's like, well, come on then, if you think you're hard enough. Moray will become a free nation. I don't think so. We'll gain devotion. Great. Ah, you. Fuck you. Right, let's go. Yep. Liberty desiring subjects couldn't give a toss. Constantinople. I don't care. Really? You got access through the Ottomans? Because the Ottomans hate me. Of course they do. Nope. So how the hell did you... Wallachia. It's alright. We'll take you out if we need to. How have you got access? How the hell have you got access? And why do I only need... Why do you want... Oh, we got rid of the fortress, didn't we? Oh, it's a good idea for buyers. Yeah, I know we've lost a lot of stability, but I couldn't risk it falling into the hands of the Ottomans. Well, it's the chances you take, isn't it? Yeah, I know I probably should have had an eye on it earlier. Alright. Backseat gamers. Right, Austria. Let's improve your relations. You still have troops, so it's going to be a tick before... Well then, it's going to be a tick before you think that... Oh, you shouldn't be able to hide. You shouldn't be able to hide. I should be able to walk in there and smash him. On this. Okay. And your money. I used to revoke calls as well. Why can't I make you revoke calls? Why can't I make you revoke calls? You have calls, why can't I make you revoke them? Ridiculous. Yep. Right. This is going to the burgers. It always goes to the burgers. And you, come up here. And we'll do some raiding. Well, we eventually got back to where we needed to be. But Wallachia is in a one-man coalition against us. They give me access. A little bit of tickling of Deria and they will give us access. No CB. I beg to differ. Or is Venice the... Who's the leader of this coalition? Don't know. I don't know. Are you guaranteeing us anymore? No, you're not. Well, if you're not guaranteeing us, then there's no point in you being around, is there? You come back to Constantinople and we'll mothball you. We'll also lower armor maintenance so we can make a little bit of money. may need to save and reload the game to bring up the nobles. Maybe if we give them land, they'll pop up on that list. 90% autonomy. There's no point in us really having it. Alright, so why give this to the bourgeois? Because local trade power of plus 50%. Plus 50%. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Which means in this trade node now, we have a decent chunk of it in the trade node that we collect from. Whew. Alright. Dolkadir. You come back. And we'll build supply network. Now that we can fabricate here. And we can fabricate on both provinces actually. Both Sinope and Castamonu? I don't know. Also fabricate on Venice. And when we've gained enough war score, Hungary's nibbled a bit, Serbia. Once we've gained enough trust, enough favours with Austria and Poland, we'll probably end up using them on Venice, and we'll take, well, we can take Corfu as well. Kandar, good. Means that when I inevitably eat you up, I get a little bit of power projection. I mean, there's no real point in the power projection now. Actively going for power projection, just because we're not big enough. There's no countries around us that are suitable for power projection. I mean, if we could fill out our rival list, then fair enough, but we can't, so there's no point. Trebizond, did you end up in a vassal of Crimea of all people? Alright. Crimea must have sneaked in there. You vassal into Crimea as well. Crimea need to get dealt with. Kazan and Nogai. Because there is an event that fires a little bit later where Crimea end up as a vassal of the Ottomans. So whilst they're not friends with each other, we could do with trying to hurt Crimea as much as we can. Maybe not to the point of no CB, although taking Kandar would allow us to fabricate directly on Theodoro, which would bring in just their overlord. So I think that's going to be what we go for. Missionaries are doing good work, doing God's work apparently. What else could we take? Good stuff. 88 power. We might save that and go for the stability. Although what's our inflation like? Our inflation is too high. Let's get this guy. It's pretty much an inflation advisor for nothing, and if you can stack it with an inflation advisor, it helps lots. Byzantine separatist in Constantinople, and they will bring 12,000 troops. Go on then. Let's poke the bear. Right, you. need you. It will take us ages and ages and ages to build up the trust, build up the favours with Austria and Poland. But whilst we have these alliances, the Ottomans will not kick off with us. They shouldn't kick off with us. But you never know. Right, we'll gain the devotion, because whilst we have so many provinces that aren't of our religion, we will be constantly losing devotion. I might move my capital to Constantinople, actually. Would there be a point in that? I don't know. No, we'll keep it Rhodes for the time being. I mean, it's still in the same trade node, still in the same area. There'll be no point other than it'll look pretty. Propagate on Sinope. Bring you back. Now, the ones that are in the coalition against me. Venice. Let's try and get you out. I know we're fabricating on you, but let's try and get you out. I would like to go to war with Kandahar, and I can't if there's a coalition hanging over me. And I'm fine. I am fine with having to spend Mont points on bringing stability up, and I am fine with having a tiny bit of a coalition form if that is the cost of getting Constantinople back. Oh no, no, the Ottomans are about to go to war. They have just raised Conquer Levant. They've just raised their maintenance on both the land and the sea forces. Who are you fighting, Ottomans? Please let it not be me. Yeah, repay that. Go on then, we'll take that tech. Minus 10% discount. I mean, there has to be an advantage of being so far behind, isn't there? Mainly because of crap leaders. And a little bit because of wantonly spending monarch points on stability and war exhaustion. Right, Venice. Let's fabricate some more claims on you. Crete would be nice. It's a very nice Crete you've got there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. Like me taking it. Repair that loan. Let's have a look at the trade fleet. That's the one that's actually moving around. 1465, right. So in December we'll get everyone collected here and we'll do a sweep through, do another raid, pay off the rest of our loans. Byzantine separatists are up to 50%. Good stuff. Right, you come back to here. But you can raid there. Really? Did we miss you out? No. Let's go have a look. We're not a war, so it doesn't matter if they're only at low maintenance. Alright. How about here? Could have sworn that I had got all of that. Evidently not. There's only 8 ducats anyway. Go for Varna. Great. Extra bits of manpower. That's better. Right. Every 10 years, being given about 200 ducats. Early game is mega powerful. When you get further into it and you're starting to make a decent amount yourself, it's probably not so powerful. And there will be a point where you don't bother raiding. But early game, it has kept the Knights afloat in many ways. Although, if you're around the Ottomans, I mean, every single time you raid, it depletes these provinces, these coastal provinces, of their entire loot bar. So it is directly having an effect. I will be directly having an effect on them. So even if we don't need the ducats, maybe it might be. Maybe it might be. Maybe it'll still be a thing. But later on we'll have big trade fleets. Big trade fleets that are protecting the likes of Alexandria and the Constantinople node, and maybe the Crimean node. And so instead of having to manually go from province to sea tile, you just hover over, you just select a trade fleet and loot as it goes. We'll do the rest of our looting. We'll sort our troops out. Good. Now that Venice is out, the rest should fall. Alright, Wallachia. Maybe not you. What about Genoa? Genoa's closest to leaving it. We may be able to finagle this. We may be able to finagle it to such an extent that Wallachia are the only ones left in the coalition, and at that point we declare a war and we take Wallachia as a vassal, because we won't be able to core it. Have you already been raided? 1476. 10 years, yep. There's only us in this sea tile, so obviously we can't raid that. Split off the trade ships and you can protect trade in Constantinople, where we are slowly getting more power. You go back to Constantinople and you... Alright. And you go back to bed. No one wants to be the last one off the bus in terms of the coalition. It's like, well, no, because if they got to fight another war, we'll just end up getting dragged in because of coalition stuff. Which would be good for us. If we were to... No. I thought you were in a coalition. Why wouldn't you fire here? Why wouldn't you defend? Why isn't that a thing? Maybe it's just against Christian countries. Nope. So you're in a coalition, but you're not in a coalition. Great. I thought, Genoa has this. They have little bits and pieces up here. If they're the last ones out of the coalition, so essentially they are still in the coalition. They're a one-man coalition against us, and we declare war against Kandahar, and it drags them in on their own, then we'd be able to take little bits and pieces from Genoa, because they have these islands here. We won't be able to core this. I probably won't take anything up here. I might do, actually. No, we won't be able to core it. Although if we did the peace deal through, it's not going to happen now, but if we did the peace deal through Kandahar and took Genoan provinces through their peace deal, then we'd be able to select this and this that we can core, and then Kaffa, because once we called these, we'd then be able to call these. But no, that'll never happen, because apparently coalitions aren't a thing anymore. If you're in a coalition and your target country goes to war, you end up being an enemy ally. When did that change? When did that change? Have I declared on Ragusa? Nope. Serbia? Is there anybody... Do you know, is there anybody that you would come in on? Nope. Absolutely no one. So you're in a coalition, but you're not really. In the coalition against the Knights. Fine. We'll just be... I don't know. Anyway, that is me for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. The next episode we're probably going to go to war with Kandahar. We have 8 transports now, which means that we can transport our full stack. Unfortunately, we can't get access through any of these. We can't get access through the Ottomans, obviously. No. So it'll take us a while to land on Kastamonu, and then from Kastamonu we go in. Although yeah, if we're at war with Kandahar, chances are the Ottomans will give Kandahar access through them. So we'll see. Which means that Dulkadir will come straight across. Our first goal will be trying to smash this 5 stack into oblivion. And then if he can't escape, we'll stack wipe him. But if he can, and he does set off towards Dulkadir, we're going to have to go and chase him. Although I don't want to be fighting into the mountains. We might have to play it by ear. We might have to set on Kastamonu until it falls. Grab a couple of mercenaries, get up to 10, 11, 12k. Set people on Sinop to take it, level 2 fort. And then add more mercenaries as and when we need. Mercenaries, you just use money to win wars. So add more mercenaries as and when it's needed for when Dulkadir shows up. Anyway, that's in the next episode. I have been Luckymarine. You, as always, have been amazing. Join me then for all that cool stuff. But until then, do take care.